Hello, welcome in Leo Collective. March is going to be a powerful month filled with all kinds of dynamic energy. This is going to be your March 2025 astrology and tarot prediction forecast, whatever you want to call it. But the month of March really is bringing in some major shifts, and you're not going to want to ignore this message. There is so much Aries energy lighting up the sky in the month of March, and any Leo placements are in for a very strong cosmic boost. Aries and Leo form a natural trine to one another, meaning that these months' transits are going to fuel your fire. They're going to bring forward momentum. They're going to bring you newfound inspiration and potential for major spiritual breakthrough. So let's dive into the astrology a bit. I do feel before we move into the tarot, we do got to talk about this astrology because we have Venus stationed retrograde on March the 1st. I'm actually recording this on March the 1st, the day that it stations retrograde. And this retrograde is going to activate your house of expansion, your house of beliefs, your house of higher wisdom, especially if you are a Leo rising. And so it's really time to evaluate your passions, your connections. Your relationships are definitely going to be tested in the month of March. But this is all about refining what truly aligns with your true heart's desires. And with Mercury entering Aries and Mercury also going retrograde middle of the month, this could boost your confidence when it comes to communication, but you do got to be mindful when it comes to miscommunication, especially the middle of the month. What I really want to say to you, Leo, you really got to think before you speak, and you really got to double check everything this month. With the sun entering into Aries on the 20th, that is also the spring equinox, okay? And so this is really going to ignite that fire sign energy in your chart. It's going to be a time of renewal. It could be a time of a fresh start, but there might be an ending before you have that fresh start. But there's going to be like this surge of energy, I feel, coming through for you. We have the full moon eclipse in Virgo mid-month. We have the solar eclipse in Aries at the end of the month. And so how can you let go of outdated beliefs connected to scarcity mindset? Because I do feel there could be a major revelation around your finances, your security, even your personal value. There's a very powerful reset, I feel, at the end of the month. And so these energies in the month of March are really encouraging you to trust in the universe. There is a portal, I feel, for a new timeline, a new opportunity. But what are you willing to say yes or no to? Because with Neptune entering into Aries, I feel this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime transit for my Leos. This really is going to reshape your beliefs, I think, over the coming years, bringing in some spiritual insights and maybe even a deeper sense of purpose. So I think this Aries energy really is going to create almost like an effortless flow of energy with any fire signs, especially Leo. It's really going to strengthen your self-expression. It might even get you to take some bold action. With Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and Neptune all moving through Aries, I think all major Leo placements will feel this surge of energy, whether it's inspiration, confidence, a new creative drive. It's really time to embrace your passions. It's time to trust your instincts. It's time to step into the new. It's time to stop hesitating, I want to say, okay? So keep in mind, Leo, this is for any major placement, sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, even your north node. But you got to be mindful because with all of this powerful, fiery energy, you've got to channel it constructively because it can turn into overconfidence. And that's not going to benefit you at all. So now that we've talked about the astrology, let's pull some cards. Let's start with an oracle card. Let's see what needs to come through because this energy is intense. And I just feel a major opportunity for growth and alignment. So what do we got for Leo, please? Sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, and north node. Let me know down below in the comments how you're feeling with all of these energies. We got 2 fell out. So, we got 3. We got 3 cards came out for you, Leo. So you're the first that had 3 fall out. We get the honeysuckle card. It's a 32 card. And so there is a need for you to release fear. There could be fear surrounding a connection. I do feel heart chakra energy. The green is indicating heart chakra energy. We get the honeysuckle card. We do get the orchid card. And so I feel almost like this very prominent energy of King of Swords. You could be dealing with the King of Swords. It is usually representative of Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra energy. I feel there's a realignment. I got to tell you, Leo, my favorite flowers are purple orchids. And then we also get a 56 card here. We get the yellow dog. And this is asking you to let go of pain from the past, to be able to feel strong in who you are. So there is almost like a Two of Swords energy. Are you blocking yourself from seeing the truth of a situation, especially if you're dealing with somebody that's kind of like a King of Swords energy? The King of Swords in low vibration can be very brash, very cruel, could also use miscommunication as a form of punishment, or like a lack of communication as a form of punishment. And that doesn't need to apply to you. That's not going to apply to everybody here, but there's a painful, I want to say a painful realignment, and there is a need to release this energy of fear. And then on the bottom of the deck, we get the lavender card. And so I think you just need to enter your chill zone. Lavender, run a lavender bath, or, you know, sage your home with a little bit of lavender, but you are aligning to some type of higher truth. And this is all due to cosmic will. This is divine will playing out. And so release fears, because if there's a challenging situation here, I just feel there's victory after this challenge, but you're going to have to go through maybe a heart expansion here in order to get to the other side. So I don't know if there's like an ending or a very painful past situation coming up to be readdressed or something like that. But it almost feels like somebody here is lacking some type of integrity when it comes to a situation that you're likely inquiring about when it comes to this reading. And I do feel it's connected to this orchid card. So you're going to need to be discerning. You're really going to need to be discerning. You don't want to be detoured by jadedness or jealousy. I think this is a big call in March for you to open up to this truth. I think there's a truth here you've been denying, because this really is bringing forward almost like a Two of Swords energy. Where have you been denying a certain perspective about a reality check here? I feel there's like a reality check coming through. And so that honeysuckle card, I just feel, is asking you to release the past, release fear. I just feel you're going through some type of detoxification. I think you're being transferred out of a situation. I want to use the word transferred. So I don't know if you're getting transferred to a different department in your career, your job, but be ready to cleanse yourself of some old emotions, some old trauma that could be lingering. I think there's an activation of what's been hidden in the subconscious mind coming through in March. And this transformation is in order for you to learn a lesson about personal empowerment. And we don't have to be loud when it comes to claiming back our power, right? And so there is this energy of eliminating all of these blocks in all of these forms. And you really need to go through this detoxification process. And I don't think it's going to be easy. I do feel you really need to connect to your higher guidance. I do feel you need to get grounded. I think there's something here very ungrounded when it comes to spirit kind of letting you know that there is a situation here that has been stagnant, that has been holding you back. And so there could be an existential crisis here. And I don't want to instill any type of fear, because it's quite clear you've got to release some fear here. But you got to be firmly rooted and anchored in this energy, because there is a lot of energy flowing through, and you've got to take back your power. And we do this by integrating our truth and aligning to this higher guidance. And so I also feel there's a situation here that you need to surrender that really has left you feeling dry. I want to say, Leo, the universe is talking to you. Are you listening? Are you listening to the universe? Because I feel this energy of exhaustion. I don't know if you're working hard to push your own agenda in a relationship, but you really need to take a step back. You really need to slow down, because the universe is cautioning you. The universe is talking to you and sending you messages, but it's like you're not hearing it. That's what I feel. It's like you're not hearing the messages. You are receiving divine guidance. I think they're calling you down an alternative path here, but you're not listening to the guidance, Leo. So let's go further with the tarot and let's see what else needs to come through. What else do you got for Leo here, Spirit? What does Leo need to be aware of? I just feel either you've been saying yes when you need to say no, or you really need to think before you speak here, but there's a very painful past energy here that I feel very strongly that has really prevented you from enjoying the better part of your life. So what do we got for Leo here, Spirit? Okay, we got a split. We got a split. Yeah, you got to get honest about a situation. We get the King of Pentacles and it come out in a split. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or somebody with prominent earth placements. And then we get the Queen of Swords to the Six of Cups. That's a reality check. And so I just feel there is a connection here where maybe you want to hold on to it. The Six of Cups can also represent patterns. It can represent a renewal or wanting a reconciliation or a renewal. But this Queen of Swords is saying you got to get really honest about a situation here. This is the sword of truth. This is the sword that severs. This is like a double-edged sword. And on the bottom of the deck, we got this Eight of Swords, and below her, the Queen of Pentacles. So at one point in time, I think this looked like a true pair situation, but I do feel it's deeply rooted in money. That's what I feel. I feel you feel trapped or entrapped in a situation all because of the financial stability that it brings. And you got to get honest here. That Queen of Swords energy is asking you to cut this out. Cut it out. What are you holding on for? What? Because of the memories? Because of the nostalgia? This really is preventing you from going towards a brand new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles. And so 2025 is a big year of endings, new beginnings. I feel you're probably feeling really trapped. There is this energy of a split, and there is a need to get really honest about a situation here. What I feel is going on here is this is a story of breaking away from some type of King of Pentacles energy. So I feel with this combination of cards, Leo, it to me is telling a story. It's telling a story, all right, of breaking away or going through some type of separation that I feel you have resisted due to some type of comfort that this King of Pentacles energy has brought you. So I do feel there's a decision here that needs to be made in the month of March with clarity and wisdom. The Queen of Swords is like the voice of reason here. This is about cutting through the emotions with the Six of Cups and making a logical, necessary decision. I do feel there's nostalgia here. I do feel there may be a lot of memories. There could even be a past life connection here that really has had a very strong emotional grip on you. But in the context of all of these cards, I just feel you're splitting up. It fell out in a split. So the Queen of Swords represents intellect, emotional detachment. Detach your emotions from this situation because there is a need to instill a firm boundary. You need to set a firm boundary. And I do feel because it's kind of like the energy of a double-edged sword, you've probably been weighing out the pros and the cons for a long time, but I think you're realizing that this separation is probably going to be necessary for growth. And so this really is a decision made from logic, not emotions, right? And there is a need to cut these emotional ties. There's a need to see through the illusion, especially if there's been a false sense of security or a false sense of stability. I think you're kind of recognizing that. And I do think you're kind of feeling trapped. I think there's a need here to choose self-respect and independence and truth over some type of comfort of a situation. I feel at one point in time, Leo, there was probably a very strong emotional connection here. But I do feel a karmic connection, especially when it comes to past lives. And so maybe where there was once a deep emotional bond, shared memories, or even past life ties with this King of Pentacles, which I don't feel is your energy. I do feel at one point in time, this connection was comforting. But with that Eight of Swords coming out to the Queen of Pentacles, I just feel this is a relationship that does keep you stuck in some old patterns here. I think you held on for a long time, a long overdue time, probably due to the nostalgia of what once was at the beginning of the relationship. There could also be a desire for reconciliation here, but I think it's time to see that the past can't be repeated. there is some type of split happening here. And I do feel there are still a lot of very heavy, lingering emotions. And I think this is bittersweet. I do think this is bittersweet. But this King of Pentacles energy, I think the stability just no longer feels right. Maybe somebody that was once reliable is feeling restrictive, right? With this Eight of Swords is feeling restrictive, is feeling stagnant. Maybe at one point in time, this was a provider, this was a protector whose energy just no longer aligns with your vision of what you want out of this relationship or for the future. I do feel we've also got a King of Pentacles here that really prioritizes materialism over emotional connection, which is really making what I want to say this relationship feeling very one-sided and maybe even transactional. I do feel at one point in time, this relationship did provide you with a sense of stability. I do feel it did bring you maybe materialistic success at a certain point in time, but I feel there's a lack of emotional connection here. I don't really see any cups other than the Six of Cups. And so I don't think this really is connected to what true fulfillment it is that you're seeking. And so you need to align with that personal truth. Overall, I do think this is a message of a bittersweet but necessary goodbye. That's really what I'm feeling. And so the Queen of Swords really needs to choose truth over comfort and nostalgia. There is a very strong emotional karmic connection here, I feel, coming to an end in the month of March. And there is still some type of emotional tie that exists. But you need to understand, Leo, the past cannot be relived. I do feel whatever past foundation was once stable, it's just no longer fulfilling. And so this really is a powerful message, I feel, of breaking free from the past. It's a powerful message of choosing clarity over illusion and stepping into a future that really aligns with truth and independence. Because this Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords, I feel, is struggling to break free. There's a deep layer of internal struggle connected to self-worth and even a sense of entrapment. And so I do feel there's a difficult separation here, even though I think inside you've already made the decision to leave this behind. It's like you don't know how to break free because of the lingering emotional and financial ties. And I think this is a really powerful mental battle that you're kind of in. And so you kind of got to sit there and ask yourself, is it worth it? This desire to hold on to stability, is it worth it even though it's no longer serving you? Because there is a strong struggle here between independence and fear of losing security, stability, because I do feel this is going to require you to rebuild your self-worth. Maybe there was a connection here that provided you with a lot of external validation, and you still long for that. You still long for that stability, even though you know deep down inside it's not what you truly need, because it's been conditional. And maybe this is what you've been conditioned to value. It's like you're in a mental cage. I heard rat in a cage, and you're filled with self-doubt. And so despite knowing like, hey, I got to break free, I got to move forward, I feel trapped by my own fears. And maybe you're overthinking, maybe you're doubting your own ability to stand on your own, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles on her own, she's stable, she's grounded, she's solid, right? She doesn't need anybody to provide for her. And so you're just bound in this Six of Cups energy. And I also think there's fear of making the wrong choice, even though I feel you've already made it at a soul level. And so this really is a major separation. And I think March is going to be a period of emotional and mental struggle. I think you know in your heart of hearts, you need to make that logical choice to walk away. I do think you're recognizing there's a lack of balance here. I think you're recognizing it's holding me back from a brand new beginning. You have to value yourself more than you value comfort. And so maybe you're feeling trapped in the aftermath of a split too. And I do feel you're going to have to navigate a lot of emotional and mental aftermath of an ending that maybe once felt secure. But this really is a message of breaking free from fears, reclaiming your self-worth, and trusting that this decision to move forward is going to be the right one. And it is divinely guided. It is a fated time period of letting this go. So let's get this message closed off with a spiritual journey oracle card. Let's see how you can fully move through this energy, step into empowerment. What do you got for Leo, what do you got for Leo? Okay, mental clutter on the bottom of the deck. Oh, I grabbed two. I think you thought at one point in time this was a twin soul connection. I do think you thought this was a twin soul connection. And I think you're really up in your headspace about this, but look at what landed kind of in between the splitting of energies. Major life changes ahead. Wow. Wow. Change is constant. It's an opportunity for growth and expansion, and you are going through a major evolution on your spiritual path. Oh, Leo, my heart really hurts for you. It really does. I kind of feel you've been looping around. Maybe you've been in this connection for 6 years with the Six of Cups, and I think you really honestly believe that this was a twin flame, twin soul. But I think you're coming into this realization with that Queen of Swords that it was a false counterpart situation. And I do think this is an awakening. I do feel there's heartbreak here, but ultimately this is going to lead you down the pathway of liberation. I think a connection that at one point in time felt super real, so intense, and so destined with that Wheel of Fortune is making you realize that this was really not your twin flame, but rather a karmic lesson in disguise. So I'll talk about that. At first, a false twin flame connection can mirror the many classics of a twin flame, twin soul connection. And so I feel maybe when you met this person, you thought this was your perfect match. There could have been a very deep, almost instant connection here, like intense chemistry, intense magnetism, feeling like you have known them forever. Synchronicities, confirmations, lessons about self-love, healing, and transformation. But let me tell you, when a connection comes in instantly with intense chemistry and magnetism, that usually is a clear indication of a karmic twin flame or a false twin flame connection. And so over time, as the connection grows, it leads to confusion, inconsistency. A moment that once felt very divinely guided now feels very toxic. It's this energy of like, oh my God, why can't I quit you? And so I feel there's a lack of real progress here. There is, instead of this energy of evolving together, it's almost like the relationship just becomes a repeating cycle of wounds over and over and over again. There's more pain than there is love. Instead of lifting each other up, you feel like you're losing yourself, and there's a lot of breadcrumbing, avoidance. And I do feel this King of Coins has probably really pulled away their energy when you needed clarity the most. And so I feel your intuition is probably feeling a little bit off. I do feel the false counterpart is going to be unveiled, and this is going to bring you to a breaking point in order to release an illusion that I think has held you captive. And so the truth is clear now, and I think the final message is it's time to cut the cord. And that's what I have for you, Leo.